Welcome to CurveBall DFI-ed, currently not sponsored by anyone. I'm your host David Ioffe, and on our second podcast, you'll learn about what Team DFI does. Hello, I'm so happy you found Team DFI. Let me tell you a little bit about myself, the founder. I'm a Russian Jew from Brooklyn, New York. My family came from Russia. They were thrown out in the early 1980s because they were Jewish. And I've always been raised with the mentality and the hustle of growing up with immigrant parents that I'm sure a lot of people that come from similar situations could relate with. And I was always told to be either a doctor, a lawyer, and possibly even an engineer, but that's like the worst case. Um, and I grew up always with this hustle. And when I was growing up, I went to a Russian school where all these values were kept being instilled in me. I was pretty good at math, and my family was like, okay, he's going to be an engineer. I went to a technical high school, um, and through high school, in the end of sophomore year, you got to pick what major you wanted to be. And I chose civil engineering. I had a great professor, Mr. Bullis, who helped me a lot with my civil engineering. And through that, I was able to learn a lot about myself. And ultimately, I'm very thankful for him. I entered college majoring in civil engineering, and freshman year was rough for me. I went to a hard high school, but college was something else. I had to take chemistry, and was not a huge fan of it. I was doing kind of bad. It was the lowest grade I ever got in college. Got a C plus. Not definitely not my finest work. Um, and that was my first semester. I kind of figured it out. And second semester, COVID hit. Um, and I had a business class, so I kind of saw something that I was passionate about. I wasn't 100% sure about it, um, but it was something that was like twirling around my mind. And then, because COVID was there, it was winter around this point, I started skiing with my friends. And one of my friends was in the venture capital club at Stevens, and he told me that I should apply. I applied, I got in, I got very close with the guys at Rocket Fuel Venture, and they kind of kept pushing me. I kept learning more, and currently, right now, I run the club with some other students at Stevens, having a great time doing it. Um, and I basically flipped the switch, and I was like, okay, I kind of really like this, so why not get a minor in finance? So I got the minor in finance. I'm taking all those classes right now. Um, and this summer that's happening, the summer 2023, I want to gain experience in finance, so I applied to literally every single bank, got rejected from every single bank, and that's fine. I reached out to a bunch of venture capitalists, some firms out there, and I'm going out right now, and I'm building a portfolio and coming back to them. Uh, so I'm basically scouting for them, which is pretty nice. So I'm learning a lot, and I'm meeting a lot of really cool people. In this whole process, I thought about how I could make myself different. So I started joining some communities. I joined the upstream community where I was able to meet a lot of interesting people and founders. And by meeting a lot of these founders, I started chatting with them and noticed that a lot of them have the same problems where they can't hire people for certain jobs, and they're always trying to find venture capitalists, and sometimes they don't share the same values. As I alluded to earlier, I spoke to a lot of founders and found the same issues, that they were trying to hire new people, and they were trying to connect with VCs that would be able to ultimately help them. And then also on a selfish note for myself, because I was interested in applying to startups that had certain job openings, and I wasn't able to find them on the other side. And I also wanted to meet a lot of really cool people, so that's why we started Team DFI. I wanted to create a community um, where startups that were in the early stage would be able to hire people, um, and get people that aren't necessarily in the startup world. I wanted to get them exposed to it and wanted them to learn more about it. You should choose Team DFI because we're a startup that helps other startups. And honestly, we respond really quickly and we're on top of our work. If you're a startup and you're looking to get introduced to venture capitalists and build exposure, contact us. We'll try to help you as much as we could. If you're a college student or somebody that's trying to break into the startup world, look at our jobs page. We have a lot of opportunities. I'm sure you'll find something that fits your role. If you are a VC and find something in our portfolio that you're interested in, schedule a meeting with us. I'm happy to chat with you personally, and we'll see maybe that we can make an introduction for you guys. If you're a sponsor and see a use for yourself to our audience or some other service that you could provide, feel free to reach out to us. We'll work on from there.